Hello, SpongicX here, and this is both part 4 and the final episode of my playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2. Here I'm going to show the remainder of Team Dark along with the last episode's entirety.
Shadow, I'm the one who should be telling them the end is near, not you. Now is the time to end this long drawn-out battle.
I swear, when Eggman talks in this, he looks like a Muppet. Still better than how he looked in Sonic Adventure, though, but...
The moment for attack has come. It's now or never.
Yeah, this level's kind of interesting. It's one of the only levels where the physics are very different for, like, out of the shooter levels. So just viewing the hover ability causes Eggman to float in the air a little bit. That's kind of cool. Closest you'll get to flying in this game. I mean, geez, not even in the Child Garden when you're playing as Tails. Tails can't even fly. He can use his tails to hover in the air a little bit, but it really doesn't do anything. He can't, you know, gain any altitude or anything. He's just always hovering in place.
Yush! Now you know why I am the best.
I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
Legend has it when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, the power creates a miracle. I have 6 of them. They're mine. All mine.
I don't think so.
Shadow.
So that was your plan from the very beginning. Or was it a direct...
No, I feel like this cutscene is incredibly lazy. They don't even bother showing how Shadow figured out she was a spy. Yeah. I mean, not even SpongicX. I don't even think they really covered this. I don't even think they duplicated this scene. I don't recall Shadow confronting her at all. But, yeah, this just felt forced. It's like, I'm not against the idea of her being a double agent, you know, but it's like they should have set it up better, though. At least later games do a better job at acknowledging that she is an agent. Okay, at least, for a while. It's like the last game that treated her like an agent was probably Sonic 06, but, I mean, then there were Sonic Chronicles, but, just like Sonic 06, that's a game not a whole lot of people like to talk about, but, yeah, it's like, ever since the Sonic Unleashed era, like, Sonic Generations, stuff like that, it's like, they don't care that she was an agent. It's like, we'd never see that brought up ever again. Yeah, Rouge is very underutilized, along with every other Sonic character for that matter. Sucks what's become of all these once interesting characters. Well, Sonic is getting a new series on Netflix in 2022, I think, and hopefully that will give them some justice. Maybe finally adapt some characters who have not seen the light of day on a TV show yet, like Silver or Blaze. I remember I was dying to see them in shows like SpongicX or Sonic Boom, and so disappointed when you realize the show's over and they never showed up. It'd also be a great way to bring back other characters like Styx the Badger, Green the Rabbit. Who knows? Maybe even introduce some of the characters that were introduced in the comics. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would love to see Tangle, the lemur. Oh boy, this level. Not as annoying as Sonic's final level, but very close. Yeah, I like how this level has less rails to grind on, where Sonic's version of this level is just overkill with that. But then in its place, you have all these weird little cylinders you gotta run up. I'll admit, as a kid, these were really tricky to figure out. I kept, like, jumping at them to get up them. I didn't realize you had to run up them. And that's the problem I have with Omochao. When he does come up to give you advice, it's useless. But then in situations like this, it's like, where were you, Omochao? This is where I really needed advice when I was a kid. Yeah, I thought it was interesting how the video game Shadow the Hedgehog kind of made more levels like this, where you're up in the setting of the Space Colony Ark. Kind of felt like tributes to Sonic and Shadow's last levels, and I'll argue they were more tolerable than this. I mean, they still had their challenging moments. I remember there was that one level where it's like the whole Terran is collapsing, so you gotta get out of there before all the platforms break down. That was a little challenging, though, but I'd still take that over some of the bullshit. Like, why didn't the homing attack walk on right there? I don't get that, but I got lucky right there, but yeah, my luck is not there to last, unfortunately. So, since in part 3 I already showed the race of Sonic against Shadow, I'm gonna be skipping that when we see that scene come up again. No point in watching the same thing twice. And I already skipped the rematch of both Tails and Eggman and the showdown of Knuckles and Rouge, because I already showed those in previous episodes of my uploads, so no point in showing them again. I mean, the only big difference, though, aside from maybe some slight different camera angles, is the character's theme will be playing differently, and that's about it.
I think it's a waste of time. Here we go. Maybe I didn't try hard enough.
Failed.
I told you, I'm the ultimate.
empire of Eggman.
The ultimate life form. Chaos, vengeance,
Space
desperation, supersonic collision, untamed power, chaos, and
Professor Gerald, the truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.
Okay, let's get started with the final episode.
Story select.
Now, chances are people really respect Sonic Adventure 2 or have very fond memories of it. It's likely because they made it this far. This is when the game story went from pretty simple, despite a little bit complicated in certain areas, but here's where everything starts picking up. This big surprise twist.
what's that vibration?
Hey, wait! Someone is coming.
Yeah, I thought this was a really neat idea compared to the final episode in Sonic Adventure. You know, it's like you saw like all these characters' side stories, and then what does it amount to? Just controlling Sonic as Super Sonic for one last boss fight. So here, they decide to have it where it's like, oh, the apocalypse is coming. The characters need to work together to try and stop it. So it's a group effort. You take control of each character in one level. It feels like a bunch of levels linked together, but still, the fact that it's one big gauntlet where you just have to control these characters doing a certain objective leading up to, you know, Sonic and Shadow taking down the final boss. And it was really good build-up. I loved that. And I think this marked the first time where Dr. Eggman ever had to work with Sonic as well. And we've seen it happen quite a number of times over the years, but they just feel too forced and manipulative. Here is where it actually felt like something. It's like Eggman knew the end was near, and so he had no choice but team up with Sonic. And, I mean, other games, they make it obvious he's using him, or, I don't know.
Once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair. Is there anything else you want to say? No. Ready?
What's going on?
I mean, yeah, like, the implication of the scene is kind of dark. It's implied like he's about to be executed, it seems like. I can't help but just imagine, like, off to the side, you see, like, soldiers wielding guns right at him. They're ready to fire, and...
What? I knew you were behind all this. Stop it right
So it's like
now.
right before he died, he sent off like that mysterious message that would only go off if all the 7 Chaos Emeralds were, you know, placed in.
You're pretty persistent for a hedgehog, aren't you? You're still alive.
Just letting Knuckles pilot the shuttle on the way over here was more dangerous than you could ever be.
What is this?
This is my grandfather's diary.
I don't quite know what happened or what went wrong. Was it a mistake to create the ultimate life form? I thought it would be something that would benefit mankind, but then the military guards landed on the colony that day. They were sent to destroy the research project that I had been working on. My colleagues at the research facility, my granddaughter, Maria, I hope you are all safe. The colony was completely shut down, probably to keep the prototype from falling into the wrong hands.
The Ark was shut down under the premise that there had been an accident. I found Maria's name among those who died when the Ark was shut down. She meant everything to me, and I couldn't bear the thought that she died because of my research. I lost everything. I had nothing more to live for. I went insane. All I could think about was to avenge her. Somehow, some way. I got scared as I no longer was able to control my thoughts. All I could think about was that I wanted it all to end. Based on my original projections, I was able to complete my project, Shadow. I designed its mind to be perfect, pure. I will leave everything to him. If you wish, release and awaken it to the
If
world.
you wish to fill the world with destruction... Oh, so that's why you released Shadow from the base.
The Eclipse Cannon is now highly reactive and explosive. This is because
Jeez, I can't hear a word you're saying, Eggman, because that music's too loud.
if the colony collides with Earth, it will shatter into pieces like my grandfather predicted. That mad scientist.
That should be you, right? We have
What?
to stop the space colony now.
Who approved of this script?
May have shifted
Or translation, whatever.
given off by the emeralds. We
People say the dialogue in modern Sonic games are bad. I mean, yeah, they're cringy at times, especially if they're attempts at trying to humorize it, but it's like,
There's a way to stop the
At least it seems like they're trying nowadays, where back then it's like none of this made any sense.
The Master Emerald has the power to stop the Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, they need to find a good balance with Sonic, though. They need to quit being so campy, but they need to quit being too serious as well. Around the adventure area, they were trying too hard to be serious and edgy, but they just didn't have the right people to make that work. And ever since Sonic Colors, they've been trying to go too lighthearted with the series. They've been trying to go too comical, too silly. And, like, I think a game that had a good balance was Sonic Unleashed. That was a game that had a good amount of serious moments and silly moments. They worked off each other perfectly. And so, it saddens me that they tried abandoning the more serious moments in favor of making it just all campiness. Hell, you even look at their social media pages, it's like it's all about making Sonic into a meme. And we're sick of laughing at Sonic. We want to enjoy Sonic again. We're tired of treating it like a clown.
System alert. The intruder has reached the system area. Initiating bug program.
Yeah, I remember I got stuck during this part as a kid. I couldn't figure out what to do in a lot of parts. Oh, I hate these enemies.
There should be a security door somewhere in the room. We need to destroy it.
Yeah, dang it. There's an item that you can unlock in a previous level. I want to say it was Aquatic Mine, but I can't remember. But yeah, there is a level where you can find a hidden item that allows Knuckles to breathe infinitely underwater. Unfortunately, I did not find that item, but that can come in handy for first-time players during this part. Especially to those who aren't properly introduced to the concept of the air bubbles from the previous Sonic games. Regardless, this part is still annoying, though. Ugh, this part is bullshit. Now it's real easy to die right here. It's like your first instinct is maybe you gotta ride down that slide, but nope, you gotta go over it and go down the other end. But I like how this area here really seems to be a tribute to the Lost World from Sonic Adventure. This looks like the temple interior, how there are all those tunnels shaped like snakes, and you have like this water running down, and yeah, it definitely reminds me of Lost World. And it's supposed to be a tribute to the Master Emerald Shrine, so that makes sense why it uses that inspiration.
Barely made it.
Man, SpongicX really butchered this scene right here. I mean, yeah, you could argue it was written and voiced pretty badly here, but it's like you can imagine if it was rewritten better and voiced better, this scene would have been really good, but... so yeah, this is like the only reason Amy is in this game. It's just to give her this moment here where she begs Shadow to help everyone, and he's reminded of Maria's plea before she died when he last saw her, and causes him to shape up and try to help everyone.
Please help us!
It's all going according to plan. There's no reason for me to help them. Besides, there's no way to save anyone.
There has to be. I know that people fight over the most trivial things. Some people.
I mean, the music in this game can be pretty good at times, but these characters' voices just don't go with it.
They're basically good if they try their best and never give up on their wishes. They always have a reason to be happy. That's why you should help them out. Saving them is a good thing.
Yeah, really good reason, Amy.
Shadow, I beg you, please do it for them. Give them a chance.
Still better than like when Chris Thorndike was shoved into this role. Yeah, they made Amy useless in the Sonic X version. She was just standing there doing nothing during this scene. I just thought it was kind of cringy how like Chris would look in well, Shadow would look into Chris's eyes and all of a sudden see Maria. It's like that was so cheesy. I find it more believable that he could relate to Maria by seeing and listening to characters like Rouge or Amy compared to Chris Thorndike.
And I must keep that promise. That's what Maria wished for. I've got to go now. I have to keep my promise to Maria and you.
When did he make a promise to her? Oh man, everyone remembers and loves this part, don't they? Oh man, this was so frustrating as a kid, and I'm surprised I was finally able to get through this boss without at least dying once. Now, I'll admit, I got hit a few times. I started off really rough during this part, but considering how the boss fight gets gradually harder the further you go, the fact that that was when I was doing good all of a sudden is quite impressive compared to how bad I used to be at this game.
Ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair. All of you grateful humans took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
Oh god, I remember seeing a really funny video where someone removed the filter effects on the roar of the bio-lizard, and the way he sounds without those distortion effects to make him sound like a roaring monster. It is hilariously bad. It sounds like a man just screaming in pain. And it's like he's shouting at people to kill him and end his agony or something. It's so crazy.
I'll take care of this while you run to get the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Master Emerald shrunk since we last saw it in Sonic Adventure.
The are the 7 chaos. Chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos. Only you can do this. Stop the Chaos Emeralds!
I'm surprised you never see Knuckles do this anymore. I guess the creators realize this is just another Deus Ex Machina that can ruin a lot of story opportunities, so they just had to act like it never happened. Sonic 06 did the same thing with the concept of how Chaos Control can also travel through time.
Is it gone?
Is that what chaos control is?
Despite how there was at least one time travel game since then, but...
Since we've stopped the chaos
Or
emeralds,
two, if you
why
count
is
Sonic
space
Boom Rise of
still
Lyric, I guess, but that was a spin-off, so... They don't even bother showing it. At least Sonic X actually showed it happening in the process.
Sonic?
This part is so awkward. I don't know why. Some people prefer it when Sonic had skin-colored eyelids. I always thought it looked weird. I was kind of glad, like, in Sonic Adventure DX, they recolored them to match their fur color. And, yeah, I get it. In real life, hedgehogs do have skin-colored eyelids, but it just looks creepy on cartoon characters. And even the Sonic the Hedgehog movie realized this when they redesigned him. They gave him blue eyelids, and it's like, thank goodness. They said that thing fused with the Space Colony arc, and it just looks like it shoved it up its ass. Yeah, I'd say this final battle is incredibly flawed, though. This is probably the quickest I've ever beaten it. I beat it without actually dying this time. But it's like, you just gotta press A to ascend up, and then press B to go down, I mean, and... But these lasers are just so unpredictable at times, and they can be hard to get that right spot to home in on its swelling spot, and yeah, this is a really tricky final battle. At least it's not as lengthy as the one from Sonic Adventure DX, depending on how good you're doing that is, But this is an incredibly flawed final battle, too, because it implies that you can switch between characters, because there are certain times where they say, like, you're running out of rings, switch to me. So you think, like, there's a button you can press to switch up. No, you can't. It's basically just telling you, hurry up before you run out of rings. That's all it's doing. And even Sonic 06 fixed this, because the final battle in that was kind of a tribute to this, except, as hated as Sonic 06 was, I'll admit, I thought the final battle, while the execution could have been better, the concept of it was kind of neat, how you had, like, 3 hedgehogs representing a timeline. So you had Shadow from the past, because he was the oldest, you know, he was created 50 years ago. You had Sonic to represent the present, then you had Silver to represent the future, because of course he came from the future. And so you're fighting like some kind of godlike being that exists in all timelines, and so they have to be in the past, present, and future in order to take it out at once. And so you had to control 3 superpowered hedgehogs at this moment, and in that game you actually got to press a button to switch between them when you were running out of rings. So, while you're controlling one character, the other characters are collecting rings, and so you don't want to switch too frequently, because then you can switch to a character who's really low on rings, and they can end up dying, because, of course, when you're in super form, your ring gauge starts going down, and if it reaches 0, they lose their super form and fall to their deaths. But I remember back then, a lot of people thought that was Super Shadow, but according to like magazine scans and stuff like that, they said that was Hyper Shadow, and it wasn't until Shadow the Hedgehog where he actually went super. Even Sonic 06 used the super form instead of the hyper form. You can tell the difference though, because Hyper Shadow looks a little more of like a pale yellow, or a silvery yellow, where in you know, Super Shadow's more just yellow and red. Here we go. Here's the reason why everyone, you know, cherishes this game, though. It's this cutscene right here. they weren't even trying with that attack animation, were they? It's just a yellow ball. They didn't try giving it like glowing effects or...
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Yeah, I'll admit that shocked me when I first watched it. I couldn't believe they killed off Shadow. If I knew what they were going to do with him next, I would have just wished that they left him for dead here. But yeah, I was one of the many where when I heard Shadow was going to be in Sonic Heroes, I was excited. I was wondering how is he going to be brought back, and then they didn't tackle it because they had to wait for another game to tackle that, basically. And even then, it still didn't explain much. Yeah, this scene is kind of awkward, though. They have the credits rolling over this, and some of the character dialogue and interactions are a little awkward here. But then again, so was the rest of the game. But, I mean, this is supposed to be a real emotional moment, though. The characters realize everything is over. They're trying to, you know, comprehend what just happened. You know, they lost Shadow. They just saved the world at moments where it was about to be destroyed.
I guess you're right.
As a child, I looked up to my grandfather because of all the great things he accomplished in his life. He was my hero, and I wanted to be a great scientist like him. But...
So this confuses me, though, because Gerald Robotnik was supposed to be a bad guy, but here Eggman's talking like he was a great man, and he wanted to be just like him. We already know, like, especially after playing Shadow the Hedgehog, Gerald Robotnik's research was supposed to be for good, though. So, what the hell is Eggman talking about here? He wants to be nothing like his grandfather. And then, of course, like in Shadow the Hedgehog, after he finds out that, you know, Gerald's intentions were good, it's like, screw that. I don't care if those were my grandfather's intentions. I just want to be an evil dick.
Something better than Jules that I'm thinking about right now. It'll all work out. You'll see.
If you say so.
Created the ultimate life form.
What's the matter, Sonic?
Oh, it's nothing. Come on, let's go home. Dude, the planet is cool and blue as me.
Egotistical much?
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Surprisingly, that was one of the only scenes in the SpongicX adaptation that they didn't botch up with the writing. You know, they kept like rewriting so many scenes, so at least there they actually kept it the same. They had Sonic still say Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog. And that was Sonic Adventure 2. Boy, is it a flawed game, but for those who grew up with it, it's still a very memorable one, though. Like, I can definitely see a bunch of newcomers coming across this game, and they're probably going to scoff at it. And, because, especially if they've been spoiled by much better games over the years, but I can definitely see where the nostalgia comes from, because this game had some great ideas, though. It's just that the execution could have been a lot better, and I think this game, along with its predecessor, Sonic Adventure, they deserve remakes of their own. I mean, if a game as old as Final Fantasy VII could get a remake that shows what it'd feel like as a movie, despite how it had to drastically change the gameplay, but it was able to rewrite all these, you know, once memorable cutscenes and rewrite them and show them in a more cinematic form with better voice acting, actual voice acting for that matter, better music, better sound effects, much better visuals. It's like, why can't Sonic Adventure do the same? These games had great ideas, but some of the gameplay is heavily criticized, and I'd love to see Sega reinvent these games. Try to reinvent and retell the story, but add much more fun and addicting gameplay. Maybe even expand it, add more levels, more replayability, more characters to play as and revisit levels with, and it's like, there's just so much they can do with these franchises, and of course, the Chao Garden, there's just so much promise they could do with that, and I still, me and many others, don't get why Sega abandoned the Chao Garden for so long. This was just an idea that everyone's been waiting for. I remember Sonic 06, everyone thought the Chao Garden was going to come back. They were disappointed when it wasn't. It's like, it was one thing for Sonic Heroes or Shadow to not have it, but we were expecting Sonic 06 to have it, and it did not. Sonic Unleashed, nope. Colors, Generations. It's like eventually came to a point where everyone gave up on hoping for it because we knew it just wasn't coming back. And that's sad when fans of something have to give up on wanting something to return. But, well, that's all I have to show for now. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a great day.